Hello there, everybody. Welcome to a very, very windy Sundsvall. Sunny, but windy. So if I would do this video outside, you will most likely not hear a word what I was saying. So let's do it inside. There are raining vinyl tags all of a sudden in different kind of forms. I said I was going to do, to begin with, two. I did Rob's vinyl tag recently, and now it is time for the second one, and it is my Swedish colleague, friend, StuntrockConfusions, Stunty. Hi there, Stunty. Who almost immediately at the same time as Rob Walker did another vinyl tag, and I thought, why not do both, since I do love vinyl tags. This one was a little bit harder. But start from the beginning. Question number one: the first record you got in 2021. I bought a whole lot, of course, but I think I can pick this one as one of the first anyway, and I've been listening to it also. This is actually some country music style. Not often I buy that. And don't get used to it, but I love these guys, the Bellamy Brothers, and their album Two and Only, containing the hit If I Said You Have a Beautiful Body, Would You Hold It Against Me? So this one was the first that I bought in 2021, one of the first. The last record I bought in 2021 also. It's not that often I buy one record and one record only. I buy mostly a whole stack. So one of the last of three that I bought were this one, Charlie Parker's 10th memorial concert, Cagney Hall 1965. A real nice tribute to Charlie Parker. Great live concert with Dizzy Gillespie, James Moody, Roy Eldridge, Coleman Hawkins, Billy Taylor, Lee Kunitz, you name it. They're all here. Show a pre-order adventure that you got in 2021. That was not easy because I don't pre-order all that often. I only done it once in 2021. So I can only show records that I bought from that. And wasn't an adventure. It was a sellout at the web shop Ginza, and I took a chance, and I got it. So no further adventures. I showed it even also when I opened the package on the balcony this summer. One that I bought was, of course, this Dexter Gordon album finding of the year. We'll come back to that later, and also. Another one that I found was this Prodigy, The Day Is My Enemy, and also Simple Minds, Walk Between Worlds. So some of the stuff I bought from Ginza, and we have a cheapo record that you got in 2021. That was also tough because I bought mostly cheap records. But I picked this one. That was a real amazing to have. This is a live Aretha Franklin, and what was so special about this is that this is Aretha Franklin with only a piano trio, and she sings a whole lot of jazz. It is a really great concert, definitely. Surprisingly well to be released by Hallmark, which normally is a low-budget release. And she sings gospel, she sings blues, but she does it really well. So this is highly recommended. And it costed $1. The record you spent the most on in 2021 As I said, I bought mostly thrift stores, since I found a whole bunch of jazz records at the thrift store. I think this one for around $6 is the one I paid the most for at Ginza web shop. And it was worth each and every penny of it. Here comes the biggest problem. Show a record from a brand new band artist that you got in 2021 or the closest to it. No album that I have bought have been with a new artist from 2021. All have been used records, which I think this one with Simple Minds is the closest from 2018. But on the other hand, that isn't a new band, so a brand new artist. Exactly. So I have to skip that one, unfortunately. Show the most out of your comfort zone record that you got in the past year. Also a very, very tough question, because as I said, I bought mostly jazz records. And those I haven't bought have been pretty much in my own comfort zone of styles that I do like. I haven't experimented with new genres hardly at all this year. I think this one is the closest. So to show something, I pick this one, since I don't collect 60s soul all that much. But I bought this compilation Dancing in the Streets this summer, so I picked this one. Show your price dig of 2021. Your pride dig. And Dexter Gordon wouldn't consider a dig. It was an order from over the web. So I think the one that comes closest is the one who was number 2 in my year in review chart of the best findings this year. And I would consider that to be this one. The 3 French jazz records, jazz compilations by André Francis and Jean Schwartz, where they collect different kind of jazz musicians and put together the best that they think from these artists. In this case, Benny Carter, Stan Kenton, and Horace Silver, in these magnificent double CD set, released in 2007. I got for I think $250, 25 Swedish kronor. Show a record you got in the past year from a style genre that you're finally starting to embrace, or at least seriously investigate. That is, like I said in the comfort zone question, I haven't bought that much of records that aren't in another style and genre than those I usually buy from, because I haven't. I've been too busy buying a whole lot of jazz that I've been finding. To show something, I show once again these that I'm not saying that I fully start to embrace. I haven't disliked it. One reason that I don't collect it is because of space and money, and that I feel like I have enough to collect, and that how much I try, I will not embrace this as much as those that I already like. But there are some exceptions, of course. And I start to investigate the later 60s, early 70s. The 70s, as you know, I showed a lot, but mostly are from the later half. The first half has been a little bit fewer of, but I found this Rod Stewart Vintage Years, 1969-70. Not often I buy Rod Stewart or music from the crisscross decade between 60s and 70s. And once again this Martha and the Vandellas, who is 60s soul. So these are music genres that I investigate, you might call it that, even though I have hard time seeing myself being a huge 60s collector. due to space and money and time to listen to it. I'm keeping one of those because show your favorite coolest art cover of 2021 or that you got that year. And I picked this one, the vintage year 69 to 70, Rod Stewart. It is actually pretty cool cover art. Supposed to look like a champagne bottle, I assume, with this envelope looking opening. So I think this is the coolest album cover art I got this year. Show a record from a band of your youth and teens that you finally got on wax last year. Haven't been a lot of those either. I've been very predictable this year, with the exception from maybe I found overflowing of jazz. The closest thing is this one that I bought in the beginning, during the summer. A band that I actually was no big fan of in my youth or teens, but I remember them. So I guess I'll take those. And that I wanted to have this record for a very long time, and I finally got it. Hula Shakers K. So I remember them. I wasn't a big fan of them then, but I discovered them, and I've got it finally, record. Your most anticipated record of 2022. I only seen what will be released during the first half, not the later part of this year. And from what I saw from the first half, it wasn't much that I actually look forward to. But one that I think is coming out any day now, or any week now, is Tears for Fears' new album, The Tipping Point. So I say Tears for Fears, The Tipping Point. Tears for Fears, always something to look forward to. And now we have show a record you love but that you haven't given much love to of late. There are a lot of records that I love and that I haven't given much love to because of time. I mean, of all things I have, most time goes to listen to newly found records and review them on my blog. So I have too little time to listen to records that I have had for a long time. So I think this one is one that I do love, but I haven't played a lot lately. Madonna's Like a Virgin. But it is definitely a great album. Definitely childhood nostalgia and a real filled with classic 80s pop tunes by the Queen of Pop. So I think this one I should play a whole lot more. Show a record that you got from your family and that you still kept and still love. All records I have gotten from my family, I have. I don't ship away records that I have gotten from someone else in present. That goes for VCLT, that goes from Christmas presents from family. I keep it. But one that I got from my family back in 1996 I was so extremely happy of, and that I wanted to have was Suede's Coming Up. I got it in Christmas present, and I still keep it, and I still love it. It is real fantastic Britpop in its ace. The Turning Point record that opened brand new unknown path in your music collection, possibly in 2021. Well, in 2021 it hasn't been any turning points. So I go way back in time, sticking with Britpop. Before 1995, I saw Britpop as something that was very overrated. It always got the highest rating by music journalists in the media. and I felt like well, some songs are good, but overall it's more of a party stuff from the festivals that are every summer. Until a friend of mine at a school that I went on later on showed me and lended me Oasis What's the Story Morning Glory, and talked a whole lot about Britpop, and I started to realize that, hey, this is really good. It is magnificent good. So you might say that What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis was a turning point for my interest of Britpop. We have show a non-record music purchase from last year. It contains records, but it is a book. So it is this: the 100 selling albums of the 60s. Well, as I said, I have no plans to start collecting 60s in a bigger scale. But still, it was very interesting to find this one and read about the records, how they were made and so on, and what places it were, how many I recognized, and how many I've seen in events and so on. So this one was great finding. Show a record from a band from the past that you totally bypassed until recently. Well, I could have picked Kula Shaker for that one, but that depends on what you mean recently. I enjoyed this band now for maybe 7-8 years, but let's call it recently. It's a closer thing though. And I picked Prodigy. That during their heydays, I really had no interest in Prodigy. I thought it was way too noisy. So Smack My Bitch Up and Breathe from this Fat of the Land was, I thought it was really, really bad. Party music that I was not interested in. But I started to listen to some songs of this band on YouTube, and I realized, hey, I've been wrong through all these years, and I started to like Prodigy a lot. So now I buy Prodigy a whole lot, and I also like the two Smack My Bitch Up and Breathe that I didn't like then, but today I do like it. Sometimes life is strange. Show the record you got in 2021 that took the longest to file from your want list. Well, I could have picked Kula Shaker on that one also, but how fun would it be to have the same records in 3 different questions? So I picked this one that I have wanted to have since I heard songs from it the first time back in 2013. And I showed it also in my in Rob Walker's vinyl tagging you saw there. No, you saw in my GM review. Sorry, in my GM review I showed it, and you saw my reaction when I opened it. I was totally shocked because this one was high up in my want list. Church's album, The Bones of What You Believe, and I finally got it. And I don't know if it's the longest, but I think for last year it was the longest that I had it on a want list. The problem is that I have to make a new wish list because the other one I managed to by accident erase. So I had to pick in my mind what actually was there. Show record that you got in present or VCLT in 2021. Well, just like Churches, I'm going to where I got from my Norwegian friend Kjellman. So I picked a band that I actually hadn't hardly listened to, that I heard of but haven't hardly listened to, the Yellow Magic Orchestra from Japan. And YMO is great. So still extremely happy for this gift that made me discover Yellow Magic Orchestra for real. However, the records are very expensive here. Show a record that you would like to send as a VCLT to a fellow VCer. I want to send a whole lot more, but the problem is that it's so expensive to send presents overseas. So I wanted to send a whole lot, but there's economic problems with that. So, but a record I would like to send as a VCLT, but of course this record also is not that easy to get a hold of. So I want to keep this one that I have, but in another world where I have a double duplicate of it, I would like to send it, but I don't have it. So it's this one, Kent, and the album Hagnesta Hill. The English version that was released in America. I would like to send to my friend Robert C. I would have sent to my friend Robert C. Because I also have said that one of these days I'm going to send a Swedish flag. He has flags from most countries that he has contract with through the vinyl community, but not the Swedish. So it would be fun to include the English version of Kent's Hagnesta Hill on that one. Because I think he would like it, definitely. Show a record that you bought not because of the main artists. Well, it was more before than nowadays, but I have a couple of examples. First, a Swedish one, and then a more famous one for many of you outside of Sweden. Swedish rock king, Swedish rock musician, Jerry Williams, a legend from the 60s rock era, released this album, Kung I blodet, the King in the Blood. This is the only record that I have with Jerry Williams, because I'm no fan of him at all. It's not my style at all. But I bought this one because it's produced and the songs are written by my favorite musician and composer, Peter Lemark. So I bought it and I keep it for that, and it's by far Jerry Williams' best album, but it's definitely most because of Peter Lemark than because of him. Another example is this, Pia Zadora, and When the Lights Go Out. No disrespect toward Pia Zadora, but I had no interest in her whatsoever. I knew who she was, but I haven't heard that much of her at all. But this one I bought because it was produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, one of my favorite soul producers. So I didn't buy it because of Pia Zadora, I bought it because of Jam and Lewis production. Then we have show a record you love that no one seems to have noticed and that you wish to share. Pretty common question in the vinyl tags. And this time I picked this one that is really great. This is Ian Cusick. He is British, I think, musician that released some records but hardly got noticed. I've heard of this guy because in Swedish radio when I was a kid, a radio show that made me discover pop music for real back in 1985, they played this one. The cover of the song Everything Will Turn Out Fine. And I thought that song was extremely awesome. And the entire album is really good as well. Really great 80s rock style with little 80s style, so it's one or two synthesizers in it, but really, really great. Ian Cusick, The Great Escape is the album title. And finally, show a record that makes you want to dance. I thought it was pretty clear by now, but that I think dancing is in public is a social humiliation. I don't like dancing. But if you want some music that makes my feet go tapping and that I really, it's think is awesome dance music. I picked this one from 1979, Rufus and Chaka Khan Master Jam, produced by Quincy Jones. And this is a really funky album. It's really making my feet tap. And in another world, I would have definitely been makes me want to dance. I would have got up and danced to it. So Rufus and Chaka Khan Master Jam. This is funky soul at its best, and danceable funky soul at its best. So that was vinyl tag number 2. Will it be more? I don't know. Let's wait and see. I have other things also that I'm going to show between also. So well, let's see. But I hope that you, Stunty, and everybody else enjoyed this one, and that every one of you have a real nice time. Take care and have a really nice weekend. So long.